Hello and welcome to the Inns of Court Armoured Car Regiment channel. Today we will be covering the events of November the 1st to November the 30th, 1944. The month started with the continuation of the following patrols and positions. A patrol route along the River Meuse from Boxmeer to Waltham Mullum, which continued until November the 3rd, as well as an observation post in a factory outside Van Rij that acted as a link between the 11th Armoured Division and the 3rd British Infantry Division, which was used until November the 19th. From the 12th to the 29th, a patrol along the River Meuse between Calc and Oufhout was included in their roster. On the 13th, one of the patrols was ambushed near Van Rij. Lieutenant Webster and Corporal Dean were taken prisoner, while troopers Loft and Salt were killed during the ambush. From the 20th to the 22nd, A Squadron came under the command of the 3rd British Infantry Division and manned an exposed stop post near Van Rij, which was frequently mortared and sniped. Also from the 20th to the 29th, a patrol route along the River Meuse from Boxmeer to Burgher was managed by the regiment. On the 25th, C Squadron's Blitz Troop was attacked at night, in which 3 troopers were captured and another wounded. The account of this event is as follows. C Squadron's Blitz Troop had been posted to an empty house in the wilds of no man's land, from which they were to observe the riverside for enemy activity. The Blitz Troop, which consisted of 18 men, along with 3 half-tracks and a Daimler armoured car, settled down. The half-tracks were parked in the roadway, while the Daimler armoured car was parked in the garden behind the house. The night was a clear sky, and a bright waxing gibbous moon shines down. From their positions they could observe the River Meuse, and morale was high. Shortly before dusk, a party of 4 set out from the house with Sten guns and pistols. However, this wasn't your typical patrol, as they were in fact heading out in search for a swine. Returning an hour and a half later with a live pig firmly in their grasp, which they had liberated from a farmyard down the road, the troops then went about dispatching the pig with 2 shots from a service pistol. The carcass was then dragged into the house, where 3 of the troopers set about butchering the animal. Around 10:30, the lieutenant and 2 troopers headed out on patrol and informed the troopers on watch that they would return shortly. About 11 o'clock, the troopers on watch were treated to a hot cup of tea brought out to them from the house. Shortly before midnight, a group of 14 Germans approached the house from the woods, unseen by the troops on watch. The Germans entered the house and captured troopers Mitchell and Collier, who were in the process of butchering the pig. Trooper Parr entered the room from the adjacent and was fired upon and wounded fairly badly. Upon hearing the gunfire, Trooper Wright went to see what the commotion was and ended up walking straight into a group of 3 Germans, who instantly took him prisoner. This group of Germans then set about firing a Panzerfaust at the Daimler armoured car in the garden, which set the vehicle ablaze. The Germans, with their 3 prisoners, then quickly retreated back to the woods, while the Blitz Troop reorganised itself. Although the remainder of the Blitz Troop did see the retreat of the Germans, they didn't open fire in order to avoid hitting their own, as they had become quickly aware that 3 of their number was unaccounted for. At this point, Lieutenant's patrol returned, and actions were taken in attempting to put out the fire in the Daimler armoured car, and to remove as much of its 2-pounder ammunition. The Germans headed further along the river bank to a boat which they had used to cross the river. Troopers Mitchell, Collier and Wright would spend the rest of the war in captivity, but were all repatriated after the war. On the 30th, the Inns of Court were relieved from its frontline positions and patrols by the 2nd Battalion, King's Shropshire Light Infantry Regiment, and the 1st Battalion of the Royal Norfolk Regiment. Losses over these days were as follows. Killed in action was Trooper F. Loft, Trooper D. Salt and Trooper S. Willows. Wounded in action was 2nd Lieutenant D. H. Barnes, Trooper A. Mathieson, Trooper A. Matthews, Trooper G. Jones and Trooper J. Parr. Missing in action was 2nd Lieutenant C. Webster, Corporal C. Dean, Trooper R. Collier, Trooper D. Mitchell and Trooper C. Wright. References on screen, and I hope you can join me on December the 4th in the next video in this series of the Inns of Court's War Diary, which will cover the regiment's actions from December the 1st till December the 31st. Kind regards and cheerio.